Hello and welcome back to another new edition of Windows in Current Affairs, and today we embark over a very important file, which is the health file, and in particular the exerted efforts by the government and the Egyptian administration to be able to upgrade and develop with this very important file, and they are many. We're going to be counting on and taking a comprehensive look over the mighty steps that were taken by the government to upgrade this file. We're very delighted to be having with us Dr. Magdy Adly, Senior Manager, Health Insurance Authority, and Professor in Hospital and Total Quality Management. Good evening,
Good
Doctor.
evening.
And let's talk about these efforts. The exerted efforts by the government is going to be one file that we're going to open, and also the many projects that were inaugurated by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi in Upper Egypt in particular, because there has been a milestone that was taken in Upper Egypt, and this is going to be an introduction to another major step later on, which we will going to take another look over it, which is going to be the health insurance file in general. Let us talk about the exerted efforts by the government first.
First of all, thank you for having me tonight, and Merry Christmas for all the world as well. And from my point of view, the most advantage of our President, Mr. President, His Excellency Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, is to facing the challenge of life, of Egyptian life. One of these challenges, a health sector as well. And mainly, you know, we as a world now are suffering from international crisis, which is coronavirus, which keep people looking for hospitals, looking for ICU rooms. And here in Egypt, in fact, there is, in Upper Egypt mainly, they are suffering a lot because of availability of quality and quality hospitals. Hospitals have a quality. So that the government make efforts to upgrading and increasing the quality of these hospitals, and building even a new hospitals that cost the country a lot of money, by the way. And even I can give you a small brief for what happened last few days from Mr. President Fattah al-Sisi when he opened a lot of new hospitals. I can give you even a brief for these hospitals in Upper Egypt. Like in Luxor, there is a new Luxor hospital for kids, and in Minya, and Minya have the share of Leon of hospital sector, by the way. In many towns like Samarot, they make an ideal typical governmental hospital there. On it has been built on 9,500 meters square, cost like 247.7 million Egyptian pound, and it has content like a nursery school, a lab sectors, medical library, video conference rooms, in addition to 70 million as devices, medical and non-medical devices. For Minya University itself has share in that also. They make a hospital in the Minya University of 5 floors, capacity of 203 bed, 24 of them are for ICU rooms. And as I told you, the problem was for the ICU rooms in last times because of COVID-19 as well. And it cost like 166 million Egyptian pound. its content like surgery department, endoscopy department, hepatic department, abdominal department. Then we come to town Malawi hospital, which is a typical and ideal hospital. These hospitals has been built on 28,900 meters square. It costs like 237 million Egyptian pound. The content is like 46 kidney dialysis bed, and by the way, kidney dialysis department is a problem of many hospitals because the patient of kidney dialysis need to go to the hospital 3 times a week, so that you need to have a lot of department of kidney dialysis to cover all the patient. 21 new nursery devices for premature kids, a lab department, emergency department, X-ray department, and assisting the services. Then there is a new hospital also in a town called Dermawas, which is belonging to in Minya also. These hospitals having 2 big buildings. One is 4 floors, and the other is 3 floors for external clinics. You know, in hospitals there's hospitals and external outside clinics. External outside clinics means that the patients come, make an investigation, and then go back to home. That hospital contains an operation departments, kidney dialysis departments, labs, residence rooms for patients who are admitted to the hospital, and gynecology department or gynecology department and assisting services. Then they supplying it with like 38 kidney dialysis, a new machine. All of and an oxygen generator for production of oxygen enough for the ICU rooms. All these efforts will increase the capacity of health sector in these areas and in these towns, and serve our citizens there, and delight the suffering for these people who are suffering to find governmental hospitals, and then they are looking for private hospitals, and if they not able to for the private hospital, they are coming to the capital.
Right,
Cairo.
we're going to be touching on that, but let us just continue with the particular file of establishing specific hospitals in Upper Egypt, which wasn't available before, which is a milestone and a great achievement to be counted on the side of the Egyptian administration and the planning for the government. But there are other chronic disease. Did they really, have they planned, have they, considered in their agenda to establish also some sectors for that chronic disease, like cancer, like virus C, like all those disease that people usually,
yes, this is right.
Find the necessity to.
This is right, by the way. But when they are planning for the ratio of diseases. Sometimes you find a chronic disease, as you say, but some disease have the majority, and some is minor, like cancer And even government make efforts to contain these problems of patients of cancers and kidney diseases and hepatitis C, by the way. And by the way, Egypt make a good efforts according to even the international agency or organization or WHO for in the field of hepatitis C. You know, we are in the first grade of infection of hepatitis C globally. Now we are close to be free of hepatitis C because of the policy which Mr. President has taken for elimination of hepatitis C from Egypt. And even that experience have transferred to another countries. You find now some European countries even would like to come to Egypt to get the treatment of hepatitis C. So we government taking all the disease in their consideration, but some of these diseases are major, like kidney disease, dialysis, like heart failure, like you know, these diseases need a lot of hospitals. So we are government care about all aspects or all kinds of disease, not only
specific kinds of disease.
Yes, that's right.
Right. Like you said, kindly said earlier, that this is going to save the patients the trips back and forth from Cairo, to and from
That's
Cairo,
right.
especially that some people would come and go. Do we mean by this that there are chemotherapy, for example, sectors where people can take their sessions?
Yes, in many hospitals, even in Upper Egypt, there is many hospitals specialized in the treatment of cancer. Even in Luxor, now we have a hospital like 57. So they are delighting the suffering of these people for transfer from their towns to Cairo to get medication. And by the way, we need a lot. We didn't get the end point. We are developing.
We're still working on
it. Yes, they are working on that. And even maybe Mr. President are thinking about the future, and not even nowadays. Because of what? Because of when we applying a comprehensive insurance system.
Yes, I was going to touch on that also. How is that going to take us to another level, which is going to be one major milestone, which is the complete health insurance file, or a complete health insurance system that is going to cover everything for the citizen, and it's going to be at the tip of their fingers. They don't have to travel to the capital. They don't have to go here or there. It's going to be at their service.
That's the important point. When we increase the capacity of hospitals or health sectors in these towns or governorates, then when we applying, and even Mr. President said that before, we would like to make shortage of the period of time for applying comprehensive insurance system from 15 years to 10 years or less. According to what? According to the capacity and the quality of the units which present or represent the services for people, for patients. Because you know, a comprehensive insurance system is not only one unit, it's or one organization. It's three organization. Comprehensive insurance organization, medical service organization, and a quality control organization. So we're supposed to have a good quality hospitals for applying comprehensive insurance system. So we start from now to increase the quality for these hospitals by supplying these hospitals, like I told you, a good devices, a good and new devices, a good and new beds, good and new ICU rooms, chambers, so that when we start for applying a comprehensive insurance system in these governorates, we don't need to restart again. So this is maybe the step before applying comprehensive insurance system in these governorates. And even when you make a new hospital in some places or in some town, it doesn't serve people or citizens in that area only. It gives the medical service for even the neighbor towns.
The neighboring towns
yes.
also. Right, but let us also look into the problems or the challenges that are still facing the health file. Of course, we have overcome a lot of difficulties, a lot of complications, but still there are problems that haven't been resolved, just like any other country, just like the United States
Yes.
and the United Kingdom, for example. So what are the challenges that are posed there for the health file, and how do we be able to overcome it the way we did?
That's right. This is a very good question, by the way, and we're supposed to be honest with ourselves to solve our problems, and that's what Mr. President does. We have two mainly big problems in health sector in Egypt, which is the hospital itself and devices, and renew the devices to be updated with the global one. And the medical team itself, we suffering from there is no enough or sufficient doctors. So and we're supposed to know that we need to make a lot of training for medical team to be equal like Western countries or like these countries. This team, medical team, needs to be trained and to have courses day by day to be updated with the new recent researches of medical subjects.
Exactly, but we have the best calibers worldwide, and whenever you find someone who have who is worldwide recognized, he happens to be Egyptian, and we have many
yes, that's right.
different examples of people who have led amazing teams, medical teams, and found cures and medications for very complicated disease, and they were Egyptians.
This is
how can we invest in our calibers?
So what you are saying are right, but these are maybe outside, but we need these kind of doctors to stay inside and to learn other students of medical faculties. So if we do that, we will find the quality hospitals and the quality doctors who are qualified. So you have the two important factors for presenting a good service, a good medical service for citizens. This is the main problems in health sector, and we try working for that now, starting from hospitals and make training for medical team. And even when I read that brief, I said every hospital there is a nursery school established inside the hospital, so that we have a sufficient number of nurses and well-trained nurses, so that we can overcome our challenge in hospital sector in Egypt.
Right, because we're, we don't have that much time left on us. We need also to embark over President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi's very important statement that he earlier said that we are on our way to localize the industry of the medication that would cure the different strains of the COVID-19. As we all know that the COVID-19 is developing and it's evolving into other strains, and it's still ongoing, and thanks to God nothing is until was reported here, but we are setting plans, future plans, and this is excellent from the Egyptian administration side. He talked about localizing the manufacture of the medication.
That's right.
Is there going to be a medication, and how are we going to be doing it? How is it going to work?
Look, as you say, Mr. President has a plans for the future. One of these plans is localization of industries in general, by the way, and in the field of medication, mainly, he would like to localize the manufacturing of medicine in Egypt, and even localization of manufacturing of active ingredient, because sometimes some people can't differentiate between the medication itself and the active ingredient of medication. He would like to make localization of medication, and we have a lot of good factories of medication here in Egypt, by the way, and famous companies known all over the world. But active ingredient mainly is coming from the Eastern Asia. So he would like to make localization of active ingredient in Egypt in cooperation with that countries, so that we decrease the cost of bring that active ingredient from these countries, and that will give us a good feedback on even on the economy of Egypt or Egyptian economy.
On that very prosperous, optimistic note, we're going to be ending it here. Dr. Magdy Adly, you're a Senior Manager in Health Insurance Authority. Thank you so much for coming in. All the best of luck in all the future, of course, projects. And I guess we're going to be ending it here with this edition of Windows and Current Affairs. Many thanks to all of you. Until we see you once back again the next week. That's all. Goodbye.